underground peasant climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stock my bare kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The Alpha and Omega promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the side by my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, really. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. Ain't no mileage of $4 configure the road I travel. Don't gravel that probably baffle it. Label scribble on paper, they wanna shackle it. I own my masters and royalties, you can't raffle it. Wrist drip like a mango, fingertip like I'm Thanos.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at Highmark Stadium in upstate New York. Today, we've got an AFC East matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They start the drive with Cook. And he's got some space here. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook, 78 yards. And the Bills are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he's got room. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Tua going to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick.
And the Bills are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On play action, Allen sliding out of the pocket. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James Cook with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Bills are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
To try again after the sack. Tua. Dancing to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Von Miller, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Bills are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Come on. Check, check. Lucky. Shit.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfect.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 15. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle, 85 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And now they'll throw with Allen. He'll check this down to Hines. He's got room at the 30, and he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Boy, 184 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Allen. Steps away to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The kick by Bass is good. And that'll boost their lead to 9. It's 17-8. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. There he goes left side. 20. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Tua, the final shot before half. Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Once again, it's Mostert. A very tough run, but for a pretty short gain out near the 32. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Tua now on 1st down. Going right back to Wilson. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Give him 30 yards there. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Here's Mostert. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Raheem Mostert, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. And he is in for the 2 points, and they're back within a score as the lead's cut to 8. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Now a throw here to his running back. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They run again on first down. Cook. They find some open field here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Boy, 203 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Play action. Now it's Allen. He'll buy some time right. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll run with Cook. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Again, it's Cook. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. Third and goal. Cook. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Meanwhile, Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, you know, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua escaping the pressure right. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 53 yards. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game here in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. They'll roll him out right. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. They'll get this down to the 38. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on 3rd down. Now Tua. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. So the second half comeback is now complete. They have battled from behind, taken the lead, and CD now, they just need their defense to stand up here and secure the victory.
And remember, they were trailing by double digits, fought their way back into this one. Now we find out the true definition of a team, don't we? Because one side of the ball just did its job. Now it's time for the other one to take over. Don't let them drive downfield and get the deciding score in what time remains.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Now Allen rolling to his right. And he finds his man. That's Sweeney. Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Now a give running right. It's Cook. Down to about the 45. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.